Hi students, so now we will be starting off with a new unit, that is trigonometry. Okay, specifically we deal with trigonometry in our 11th grade. It's one of our very initial chapters. All right, now trigonometry is actually a very easy chapter, but unfortunately there are certain concepts and certain tricks which are not known to many. And my basic objective in this chapter would be to make you familiar with each and every one of them, okay? Because as I told you before, that you know you have solved a couple of problems in integration now, and you can see how much of application of trigonometry you have. These are all school grade problems, and yet you can see so much of application. Just imagine the amount of application of trigonometry in different kinds of joint entrance examinations. Okay, so now trigonometry is actually a very versatile chapter. Okay, and to start off, trigonometry comes from a Greek word, I think, which is of two words, which actually comes up from two words: trigon, which means three angles, and metron, which means measurement. Okay, and since ages, scientists have used the, you can call trigonometry as a tool. Okay, scientists have used these tools to actually discover and invent infinite different kinds of applications around us. Okay, so before starting off this chapter, there is one thing that I would like to tell you, that nothing that I will be teaching you will be very extra in nature, okay? Because in order to proceed for competitive examinations, or in order to actually excel in different examinations, you essentially don't need to have a PhD degree in trigonometry, okay? If you really want to know more and more derivations and stuffs and different other things, then you need to be doing further degrees. Okay, but here in this case, where time is very limited, we have to solve more problems. That will be only the way to understand what math truly is. In case you want to get into the depth of it and all, it is something that you deal in your higher studies, okay, in your masters, in your PhD, or even in your bachelor degrees. Okay, so we will be very specific with our approach. Okay, an approach that will help you excel in your board exams, as well as in your future math, and as well as in your competitive examinations. Okay, all the basic things and stuffs and different kinds of problems will be solved. Problems will not always be in the basic stage. As we progress further, we will take up very difficult problems, okay, which requires more of analysis and things like that. Okay, and moreover, as I said, that trigonometry finds its respective applications in many different fields. It is not just constricted in the field of mathematics. You will find versatile uses of trigonometry even in physics, even in different engineering departments. All right, this is how much of potential importance trigonometry is. All right, now how shall we approach this particular chapter is that we will be first starting with some very basic formulas. Okay, some very basic formulas that we have studied in our 9th and 10th grade. I'll start off with those first. Okay, I'll give a very quick introduction to those, because for knowing those formulas you don't need to have a lot of things in your mind. Okay, just some very basic stuffs, and then we will proceed on to some advanced formulas. All right, now what you have learned in your 9th grade and 10th grade, I will also focus on those areas, because in your 9th and 10th, I think you mostly have done those evidence based stuffs, where you were given an expression and you had to prove that this expression equal to this expression. Okay, now in your 11th grade, you will no longer have those kinds of expressions. Yeah, you will have, and you will also have to practice those, but the main focus will be on advanced concepts. Okay, and Also, you might remember that in your 10th grade, maybe you have studied that sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta, cos of 90 minus theta is sine theta. Why is that? All right, all of those things I'll explain you, because I want you to get in the depth of it, but definitely that depth only that is required for your exams. Okay, these, most particularly these concepts like sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta, everyone knows. But why is it so? Here it is very important to know, because when you will progress to some advanced mechanics problems and stuffs, you might have to understand the importance of why. Okay, so this is why I'll be explaining all of those to you one by one. First, we will take up some very basic formulas that we have done in our 9th and 10th grade. I think y is cos of 90 minus theta equal to sine theta, or sine of 90 minus theta is equals to cos theta. Why is that? Is this thing you will find in a chapter, I think, called associated angles. Okay, so before getting on to associated angles, we will first work on the chapter of trigonometric ratios of positive acute angles, and then we will go to associated angles. Okay, now the only thing is that you have to, again, this is the subject of mathematics, right? So initially I'll be explaining concepts, so you have to watch all of them. But as soon as I start to do the problems, initially you might see and do it, but after a couple of problems, I tend to be repetitive. Okay, so I don't want you to just copy and paste in your notebooks or in your copies. I want you to do them by yourself first. All right, and then you can, if in case you have some problem, you can refer to my video. All right, although it's highly recommended that you watch all the videos, all right, every minute of it, because in trigonometry I'll be telling you small things while solving the problems. Maybe initially itself it might not be possible for me to explain all of them, as you might know that it is impossible to know about all the concepts without solving the questions. So there are certain concepts which I have to introduce you whilst solving the problems. So it is highly recommended that you don't skip videos. You watch the every end of it. Okay, even if you feel that you might fast forward it, you can do whatever you want, but please watch the videos properly, because in every video maybe I will say 1 or 2 lines which might be of some use in your examination. Now, the very important thing that I have been telling you while solving integration also is that I have consistently told you that integration is all about practice. Similarly, trigonometry also is the same. The more you practice, the better you will be in this particular chapter. Okay, and just don't mug up formulas and do it in a particular pace. All right, understand, enjoy, and do it, because trigonometry is a very tricky chapter. Initially, when I deal with different kinds of problems, you might not understand it, but later when we will be having big expressions to solve, then you will be facing this issue. Okay, so try to be very particular. All right, solve problems every single day, and most importantly, practice a lot, and don't just copy paste my explanation. Okay, try to understand what I say and then do it by yourself. Let me first explain, first watch the video fully, and then you do the problem by yourself. I don't want you to copy every bit of my video from first to last. That is not a good thing. Okay, so first see what I am explaining in case you don't know about the problem, and then you do it by yourself. This is the exact tactic that you will not only be following in your 11th and 12th grade, but even further it is important for you to realize it. Okay, so as we start on with this chapter trigonometry, I want to say that be very sincere and listen every single thing that I say. This is something that I am repeatedly telling you. It's because if you miss 1 or 2 things, you might face problem in the questions. Okay, I'll be telling you a lot in this chapter. It might be even sometimes very difficult to gulp in, but I hope you will be able to get through. All right, so let's start. But before that, I'll also tell you that if you like what I do teach, then please do like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon for more of such exciting content. Alright, now let's move on to the next video.